Hi, it's me again. It's Birdy. It's August the 16th, 2025. All right, we're going back to 2019, just after Halloween, just before Remembrance Day. Excuse me. So, I get these visions, and I've been getting them since I was a child. Now, 90% of the time, they get me in trouble. Well, when I was in another country, they incarcerated me for something that they think I've done, which was trying to help them solve something. And I'm not going to say what it is or anything because then I'm saying names and all that stuff, which I'm not allowed. But anyway, that was in the. And then in Italy, I guess I can say this one, Italy. There was a young little girl, about 7 years old, fell down a ravine, broke her leg, and I saw the vision of how to find her. They still incarcerated me. So every time I get visions, I'm scared that I'll be incarcerated. Even when I saw the plane crash, they they incarcerated me when I got back. I told everybody about it and everything. So these visions have been more problems more than anything. So around 2019, around November, I had a visions that the streets were going to be empty in 2020, 2020, that there'd be nobody on the streets. And so I was thinking, what is it? Like, my visions don't come to me like precisely how things are happening. They just come to me in little visions of spots. So, like, I see the roads are empty. There's animals running on the road that are wild and they're just roaming around. That they're usually never there. There's no humans. So I'm thinking catastrophe of some sort and global. So there's nothing much I can do about it. Who am I going to tell? So I kept this to myself, which, believe me or not, what are you going to do? I kept it to myself. But I noticed it started to affect my readings. Because at the time I was living with my youngest sister in her basement. I was furnished, it was nice. And I really enjoyed the privacy and everything about it. And, she was hardly ever home. So I was mostly by myself. That was amazing. But anyway, she set up a little room for me so I could do readings. And I found out my readings weren't so accurate. And the visions kept coming. And I'm like, what is this? And then it came that people would have to far apart from each other. We'd have to wear masks. So I'm starting to think maybe something to do with, pesticides, nuclear bombs, whatever. I don't know what it's going to be. So it continued to give me more visions. I told some people that were close to me, and some of them were spiritual and religious, and they went to things like the plague or something like that, which was the biblical in some forms of religion, where God would send a pestilence of some sort. But I'm thinking, no, I don't know. I don't think that's it. Because I talked to the angels and they said, no, it's got nothing to do with God. It's something the human mankind is doing. But anyway, the visions kept coming. And I said, okay, what do I do? What do I do? And they said to me, listen, the angels go, just prepare yourself. Don't start going crazy and telling people all this stuff because you'll start perhaps a panic, but I don't think anybody would believe me anyway. So what I did was I started putting a little bit of wealth aside, money aside. Started putting canned soup aside, all non-perishable items. Because it looks like we're going to be inside your homes for a while, look like. And I did this for about 3 to 5 months. But anyway, around December of that year, 2019, there was this thing in China. They called it COVID-19. And I was thinking, okay, that's pretty bad. But it really wasn't bad at that time. It wasn't until 2020 when they called it a pandemic. And that's where it became bad, where we had to stay home and not go anywhere, and only essential social workers and people that had to work in the hospital, stuff like that, were allowed to be out. And that's exactly what my visions were. But I still didn't piece it together till it happened. I did tell some people and stuff like that. And my readings continued not to be so great, because usually when I do a reading, like, wow, how did you do that? Now, at that particular time, between 2019 to about 221, they were like, you're okay, you're pretty good, but no, like, you're amazing and stuff like that. And that's what I usually get when I do a reading or something. But yeah, this one is about visions and stuff like that. And I was living with my sister, and today's her birthday, actually. Yeah, which I don't know if I'm allowed to say that either. But anyway, that's the story for today. It's a short one, and yeah, I wanted to talk about my visions. I still think they're a gift and they're not a curse. But it's just I'm scared to tell people about them and stuff like that, because every time I was incarcerated, and who wants to go in a loony bin, or maybe not say loony bin, sorry, a mental facility, or disabled place, or be incarcerated in some type of European jail, or our jail, or a place where they hold you because they think you've done something wrong. Yeah, I hope I didn't say anything to offend anybody. But also at my sister's place, there was lots of ghosts. But I another thing during that time period, they became little sparks of light. I don't know if, yeah, like little dots of light that I could see, and I knew they were ghosts, but I couldn't manifest them into what they were before, because my abilities, I think, were lower at that time because of my visions coming so strong. And because when I lived in the city when I was 9 or 10 years old, I saw them full out. At this time, I couldn't see them. I saw the Aboriginal native person out from Canada that was, he had the whole headdress, and I think he was a father, and he's been here since the time, I don't know when. Aboriginals, I guess that's what we call people that were originally from Canada, or from up north. I think it's still Aboriginal. But anyway, that's my story for today. And yeah, I thought I'd lost my abilities altogether, but no, the angels could talk to me. And it's just, they got really low while the visions were coming. So there is limits to my abilities as well. All right, Birdy signing off. Bye.